According to a court filing, former President Trump pled not guilty today to a wide-ranging Georgia criminal indictment related to his attempt, they say, to overturn his 2020 election defeat.
Now, the plea means that Trump will not appear in person in Fulton County Court in Atlanta next week to face the charges. Senior correspondent John Huddy has the latest on the story. John.
Yeah, Katrina and Bob, also Trump's legal team, we're hearing right now, just filed a motion to sever his case from the other 18 defendants as well. We've seen a couple other of the co-defendants do that. Well, now Trump's legal team is doing it as Fulton County DA Fani Willis wants all of them tried together and the trial to start October 23rd. Now, Trump's most recent motion to sever the case comes just a couple hours after his attorneys filed the arraignment waiver today in Fulton County Superior Court. Trump's statement reads in part that he discussed it with his attorney, Stephen Sadow, adding, quote, "Understanding my rights, I do hereby freely and voluntarily waive my right to be present at my arraignment on the indictment and my right to have it read to me in open court." Now, Fulton County Superior Court allows defendants to appear virtually for arraignments or waive their right to appear if their attorney enters a not guilty plea in writing. We talked about this yesterday, so we were expecting the defendants in this case to do that. Well, we know that co-defendants Sidney Powell, Ray Smith, Trevion Kuti already waived their arraignments, pleading not guilty as well. And, you know, like I said, as I reported yesterday, we were expecting former President Trump and the others to do the same. Now, Powell, by the way, along with Kenneth Chesebro, also filed motions requesting a speedy trial. Chesebro's is scheduled for October 23rd, that same date that Fani Willis wants basically the whole trial with all the defendants to start as well. Now, both Powell and Chesebro are looking to separate themselves from the other defendants in the case, and now we're hearing former President Trump is doing the same. Meantime, as the legal battle continues in Fulton County Superior Court, the political battle in Georgia is heating up. Some Georgia GOP lawmakers are calling for a special legislative session to discuss the removal of Fulton County DA Fani Willis from office, saying her investigation of former President Trump is politically motivated while the county deals with a backlog of thousands of felony cases. Well, today, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp said despite his personal feelings about the investigation, he does not have the authority, he said, to call a special session, nor does he think it would be constitutional, adding this. Listen.
Up to this point, I have not seen any evidence that DA Willis's actions or lack thereof warrant action by the prosecuting attorney oversight commission. But that will ultimately be a decision that the commission will make.
And Bob and Katrina, Kemp also said as long as he is governor, quote, "we're going to follow the law and the Constitution regardless of who it helps or harms politically." Bob?
Katrina. Yeah, and apparently his decisions up to this point, John, have helped him politically. He was elected handily, you could say, as far as Georgia is concerned, in 2022. Yeah. Thank you.
That's right.
Thanks, John.
You bet.
All right, and joining us now to discuss is former New Jersey Superior Court Judge, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, great to have you with us, as always. As we heard from John Huddy's report, a lot developing today. What would you like to discuss with us first? Either President Trump or DA Fani Willis? Up to you.
Well, I think Governor Kemp is doing the right thing. There doesn't seem to be a basis to remove her from office. I mean, the Georgia Constitution actually protects her from removal from office unless she commits a crime. Now, granted, her investigation of him was very aggressive and was pursuant to political promises that she made when she ran for office, which to some of us singes our ears, but that's the system in Georgia. The judges run, the prosecutors run for office, they make promises, they get elected, they either deliver or don't deliver on their promises. As much as one may not like what's happening to the president in Georgia, that the governor's correct. That's not a basis under Georgia law to remove her from office or to interfere with her prosecution.
Yeah, and our founders might make the argument that's why you have elections. But let me ask you about the arraignment process. The former president pled today. Now, you know, educate us a little bit on this. We thought this was going to happen September 6th.
Well, you know, an arraignment is really just a formality, Bob, and most judges hate them. Myself among them. I can remember having to do 300 or 400 in a day. They really are only valuable when the charges against the defendant are not valid, or you have the wrong defendant, you have the wrong person, and you've got to sort of straighten that out to make sure you're not incarcerating someone who doesn't belong being incarcerated. But in a white-collar case where everybody knows the defendant, where everybody understands the charges against him, where he has lawyers to explain the charges against him, there's no reason to have the arraignment. So normally an arraignment is right after incarceration, like I said, to make sure that they have the right person in jail. But because of backlogs in courthouses, arraignments take place nowadays, sometimes even weeks after the person has been charged.
All right,
in this case,
Judge?
everybody did the right thing.
Okay.